effect. They have good internet. Ain't that?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. There we go.
We're back.
Yep.
Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and I am here to cut some eggs because it'll make me feel better. I had a rough day yesterday. It's a bad day. It's a bad day in my world, you know. And I don't have many bad days, and actually it wasn't that bad of a day. But I got to start with just saying my favorite cats dropped a game. Dropped a game. Still love them. You know, I don't. Here's the thing: if you're a sports fan, just a word of advice, especially a college sports fan. As an adult man who enjoys college sports, you cannot tie all of your happiness to the performance of 18 to 23-year-olds. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Like, I love my college sports. I love it. I truly do. But I see people, especially because I play around some online college sports forums and communities for fun, who literally let a college football game dictate their entire week, right? I don't get that. Man, I love my Cats. What pissed they lost? Sure, especially on a game where we had some blown coverages, did some things I know we're better than, and to a team that I'm pretty sure we'd beat 8 out of 10 times. And honest, but give credit where it's due. 61-yard SEC record field goal to beat you. I mean, you know, and obviously it was a big thing for Mizzou because they ran and they, you know, like stormed the field, rushed the field, whatever you want to say. You know, it's a big thing for them. I get it. And they're all happy folks, as it should be, but I'm not going to let that ruin my whole week. It ruined about 10 minutes of my day. And I'm going to be like, well, that sucks. I'm going to put it away and get back on doing what I do. And that would be my advice to you if you're a sports fan. Don't let 18 to 23-year-old kids or a bunch of overly rich millionaires in the NFL and NBA dictate how you feel. Your self-worth should not be tied to a college sports team unless you, one of two things: A, play for said college sports team, or B, work for said college sports team. Otherwise, just enjoy the ride. If it goes good, great. When it goes bad, great. Just don't be a Matt Campbell and try to get in a fist fight with a fan. That's bad. Bad Matt Campbell. All right, enough college sports today. We're going to cut 2 sets of eggs, set 29 and set 30. Set 29, correct me if I'm wrong, Caleb, is going to be these guys right here, and this will be a pastel axanthic to a pastel het axanthic, so we're hoping for some super pastel axanthics there. 30 will be a 100% het clown, het caramel, again, the accidental het caramel stuff, right? Paired to an inchy clown, so we shouldn't see any caramel there. These are really nice plump eggs. I already pulled the grading out of these, so they were all levitated on the grate. We'll do these first and these second. So what we're hoping for here is obviously inchy clowns, or clowns, you know, and we have a clown curse.
We do. It's bad.
This is probably our one set of clown eggs that has gone all the way, all of them. We didn't lose a single one in either one of these clutches. Our other clown eggs would have like half the follicles would produce a bad egg or whatever. So I don't trust the odds here. Let's hope we do well and can kill some of that clown curse. For those who watched the last one of these cuttings, it's those really dark purple snakes. I'd love to share them with you, but I can't. They still haven't fully emerged. Honestly, I'm a little concerned with those, just to be upfront, because I know people are going to be asking about them down the road. That we may have had this first-year mom, y'all. Sometimes they don't do so well. We may have some issues in that clutch, even though we got most eggs to term. At least there's no obvious in there when we check them. And most of them have moved. One, I really can't see movement for sure. The rest of them I do. But it wouldn't surprise me if we don't have some developmental issues in that clutch, which would be really sad. If we do, trust that we will repeat that pairing because I definitely want to see those results. Though a show. All right. How many people got on here, Caleb?
25.
25, good enough. We'll start hacking into some eggs. You know what I should do? I didn't do yet. But I will. Give me a little bit of treatment. Get my scissors. A little bit of treatment. I might have to get some new scissors next year. These are starting to get kind of dull, you know. All right. Now we're ready. Get those things over there. And let's do some minor egg surgery. Come here, you. What is it, Caleb? Call the first one. Are we going to get an axanthic or no?
It's going to be straight axanthic.
Caleb says I'm more worried about hitting the recessives than the extras. I just like to hit the recessives for sure. Caleb says we're going to get it. How are we going to do overall? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we get at least 3?
Yes.
Oh man, he's a believer. Caleb's a believer, y'all. He's young. He's optimistic. And ladies, he might be single.
Oh, I was close.
You were close to single?
No.
Oh, it's the call.
Yes.
I'm like, that's definitely Xanthic.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's straight Xanthic, my man.
I think it's got pastel in there.
I think you're right.
Dang, I was close.
And see, this is what you really like to see when you cut an egg. It's like that last set, they're kind of hard to see in there and everything else. And I mean, I'm hoping they were just really slow developers for some reason, but I ain't holding my breath. But this, you can see how well developed that is and how a little touch just moves that around. That's a great reaction. That, y'all, is a good baby. That's the baby. When I see that, I got no worries about. So when you're cutting eggs, ooh, that's weird. Pick up your phone. When you're cutting eggs and you're doing this on your own, you cut that, feel good. When you cut those other ones like I saw, be a little nervous, and we'll see how it goes, right? This is another one that's going to be all right in there, pretty certain. Yeah, I feel it in the eggshell. I love that. Now, I have seen some folks who have taken to just ripping eggs open. I mean, you do you. I'm not going to do that, but what do you guys think? Should we just start ripping them? Or do you prefer we just go ahead and cut them like normal people? Oh. All the people I know that do that have a lot of experience, and it doesn't seem to cause any problems. Don't rip the baby out of the egg, though. So that also looks like it's got pastel in it, but unfortunately it does not have Xanthic in it. Now, anything not visual will be 100% het, because we did use a visual in the pairing. So we used one visual and one het. So, yeah, female would have been the het. The male would have been the visual in this case. Not that that matters for odds, but because it doesn't. But everything will be at minimum het Xanthic. So Caleb, so far we got 1 and 1. You said we're going to hit our 3 at least.
Yep.
It's gambling season, so it's fun to ask questions like that. What are you on that one?
Super pastel. No Xanthic.
That's kind of what I'm seeing too. Seeing way too much yellow through here. These can kind of fool you because you start thinking, am I seeing albumin? But you see when it twitches in closer, there's a lot of color there. So I'm with Caleb. This is probably not an Xanthic. This is likely a super pastel het Xanthic. All right, man. We got 3 left. In order for you to be right, I need 2 out of 3. You still feel good about it?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
100%. Damn, that's like, the guarantee. You still feeling good?
Yep.
Because that ain't it either. That's another super pastel,
Yeah.
non-Xanthic.
Next 2 eggs are gonna get this is gonna be a straight Xanthic. Or
Okay.
pastel Xanthic. This is gonna be a super pastel Xanthic.
So no straights, huh?
No straights.
That's the way you like them. No straights.
Indeed.
He just figured out what I did there. Like I said, gentlemen, Caleb might be single. No, ladies, I'm just kidding. Although, we don't really care. I just like to give people a hard time. The only thing I used to I'm just kidding is because if you are a dude and you flirt with Caleb, we won't care about it, but he's not going to reciprocate. So we're not hitting the odds on this one.
No.
Not the odds we want anyway. That one's probably regular pastel.
At least I got the pastel
Xanthic.
right. 1 copy.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Congratulations. Boy, if this one is not Xanthic, it's going to be a real bummer to clutch,
Screwed.
As long as it's alive and healthy, we don't get too pissy about it, because that's what we're really after.
Yeah.
That's what we can try to... That's what you can have some influence on sometimes. Not always. Sometimes that's out of your control too, but, that's the goal, right? We were more worried about that than the genes. But, yeah, we'd obviously love to have less just straight pastels and more. Hey. I think we... Oh, wait a minute. Now that one I think we are good on. Let me make one more little clip. And what happens too on some of these is you hit a blood vessel like I just did, and you leak a little bit of more blood in there. It makes it harder to see. But there you can see pretty clearly that is definitely got xanthic in it.
I think that's super pastel.
I do too right now.
I think I called that one. At least got one right.
You know, here's the thing. If I'm setting on a pastel. We didn't hit a single normal, right? So we can take that to the bank. I'm good with that. We did get 2 super pastel, actually 3 super pastels, which is right what you would expect. Getting the 3 pastels is kind of a bonus since we didn't use a super pastel, not hitting any of the normals. We got 2 visual xanthics. That's our penance for getting the extra super pastel, I think, and getting no normals. So we got, pastel, head xanthic here, right? Is that what we decided there?
Yeah.
Then we got a pastel xanthic here. And then this one was the one that we think is super pastel head xanthic. Super pastel head xanthic, probably. Just pastel head xanthic. And we're leaning right now towards a super pastel xanthic. So we'll see when it's all out. Sometimes, you may be seeing a lot of blushing and call one of those super that's not super, and that can always change a little bit when you get a full view of everything. But right now, that's what we're looking at. Not too shabby.
Dennis, why are your feelings hurt?
Breakfast. And why is Dennis's feelings hurt?
I don't know. He said, thanks a lot. My feelings are hurt. I don't know.
I don't know what we did, Dennis. We like you, buddy.
We do.
All right. This one is...
Time to break the clown curse.
We got 7. How many clowns, Caleb?
3.
3?
3.
Okay, you know what? I don't fucking believe in curses for real. So there's 5 coming. 5. Calling it now.
Oh, flirting. He said flirting with me. I see why.
Oh.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's get 7.
Well, if I'm going to hit my 5, we need to start off good. And we are. That is...
a nice looking one.
I don't think inchy, though.
No.
But it's clown.
It's a nice clown.
So
we got one.
Clown.
These are full eggs.
Yeah. Very juicy. I tend to cut smaller holes when they're this juicy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think that's just a straight inchy.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Dennis. Unless you're talking about Matt, and then I'll just go screw myself. They said Shar and me think the world of you. So I don't know if it's to me or to you. If it's to me, thank you. If it's not, it's all right, I guess.
You gonna go screw yourself?
I'm
You
gonna
need a
go
moment in the bathroom, or you
This is
That's why we can't let people. This is why you shouldn't let your kids watch us, folks.
Yeah, I had someone back home say, "Oh, we love watching your Snapchat stories and stuff. Do you have a YouTube?" Like, yeah, not for your kids though. Not for your kids. Your kid just started first grade.
That's all the time, man. I'm like, I swear a lot, and sometimes I say off-color stuff. Well, this is not looking good now. So yeah, that's a normal.
Yeah.
So in order for me to be right, we got 1 clown, we got 1 inchy, we got 1 normal. I would need to go 4 for 4. Whoop! Don't tip over, little buddy. Full ass eggs, man.
They look like
I mean,
bird eggs. They're so round.
Wink, wink, wink. It's like,
Yeah, they're like so round.
feels like
They're
I'm gonna cut it. It's gonna squirt.
look like chicken eggs.
Got a quarter of an egg here, you go, boys.
And these are day 55 for these, or 56. I can't remember, one of the two. So these guys are
Oh yeah.
well ready to go.
When I was on vacation, Caleb spent most of his time pulling eggs.
I did. This next week's gonna be crazy for egg cutting, guys.
So much for the clown curse leaving. Jesus. That's not clown.
No.
That might be an inchy. Might be a normal. Hard to tell what I'm seeing. If it's an inchy, it's not going to be what I'd call a super high expression.
Yeah.
Um,
Dang, in order for me to be right, we have to hit the next. Oh, we don't have to hit 2.
well, you did admit to saying fuck it, 7.
That's true. I got wrong.
I'll let you keep your 3 vote, though, because you were just wound up in the trend, man. I was just trying to will something into existence. I think this is the fullest one. Really? It's just pressuring out albumin, man. Albumin kind of grosses me out. I don't know why.
It does me too, so don't worry.
Hey, we got a clown.
Yeah. So we got 2.
2.
No inchy yet.
No inchy clown, anyway.
Yeah, no inchy clown.
Yeah, at least 1 inchy. No inchy's in there. I'll save this half deflated one for last. The one that's like they normally look at this point in the juncture. You're getting a view before me, I think. Oh,
Damn.
that sucks.
That does suck.
It's not your fault, little snake.
And she clowned in the last leg, calling it from Mr. Guaps 808.
Well, I mean, we had 7 eggs. You'd think we'd get at least one of them, son of a bitches. I mean, the odds are 1 in 4 for an inchy clown.
Yeah.
Because it's a visual clown, inchy, to a het clown.
Yeah.
1 in 4. You got 7. And we're not going to get a fucking clown.
Wow.
That's an inchy.
That's a nice inchy. Wow.
Well, the clown curse
It
continues.
continues. God damn.
Whatever voodoo queen put that on me, can you please take it off? It's kind of annoying.
Maybe we need Curtis to cut the next clown clutch.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, let's be honest with the clown curse. We joke about it.
Yeah.
And we do suck at hitting clown. It's just, it is what it is. And we do hit it. We have shitty odds with it. It's not as painful now as it once was because, I mean, clowns are worth like,
Nothing.
$20. But it's not that bad. I say that in jest. But the astronomical fall of the clown gene is something that was coming. It's coming. And if you couldn't see it, then and a lot of people got wrapped up in that. And we talked about it for a long time. And it had a lot of people tell me, like the clown was always going to be, a Desert Ghost clown was always going to be $8,000 to $12,000. Okay, If you guys remember, I had a guy who argued with me about that he was going to build his entire empire on breeding just a handful of desert clown ghosts and make $100,000 every year. Gee, bet that worked. And I caught a lot of flack for saying, bro, that's not going to work. Like you have to diversify. You can't just say this one gene's always going to be there and breed 10 snakes and expect to, make 6 figures profit every year. Like that's not a sustainable way of doing things. I'm just going to breed Desert Ghost clowns and get rich. Yeah, people tell you Desert Ghost clowns are going to tell you that, but it's just when everybody's doing it, guess what happens? It's not sustainable, right? Think about it like when you're car shopping. If you're going to buy a used car, the cheapest used cars tend to be the ones that there's a million of them out there. Because there's more options, less buyers, supply and demand pushes the price down. You go to buy a used Ferrari, it probably costs more than the Ferrari did new. Again, supply and demand. That's just how it works, man. It's nothing, it's no secret. It's as old as time. It's as old as commerce. It's just, there was a point in time when fucking sugar was super, super, super valuable because supply and demand. Now it's not, okay? There was a point in time coffee was super, super, super valuable because because supply and demand. No, it's not. There was a time cocaine was super, super valuable because of supply and demand. Okay, that one still is. But that's got a lot of other caveats into it that we're not going to get into. But my point being is supply and demand has a factor, and it has a factor in the reptile industry. Whether the gene is something I'm not that big into, such as clown, or whether the gene is something that I'm really into, like xanthic. It does not matter. If supply of any one gene begins to shoot up, then, or if demand begins to shoot up, like we saw with clown, starting when red stripe and clown got put together, then people will rush to fill the supply. Then eventually the supply will outpace the demand, and you'll see a bubble build and burst. It happens. You gotta learn that shit, y'all. And it's just not getting caught up in the romanticism of it all, right? And if you know it's coming, you can make your investments whatever gene, whether you like it or not, with your eyes wide open, and then it's perfectly okay, 100%. As long as your eyes are open when you do it, and not just believe in fairy tales and unicorn farts. Caleb, what do you want to add about fairy tales and unicorn farts? When you shake your head, no, they cannot see you, Kurt. I mean, Caleb.
No.
That was on purpose, y'all, because that's what Kurt does to me. You got any questions? How the fuck they know you don't have any questions? You gotta say no, buddy. So now I don't know, man. Now I got Caleb over there going.
I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed in what?
It's been a rough weekend.
Why?
We had K-State loss.
Oh, we did, yeah.
We had the Vikings lose.
Yeah.
We got fucked on the odds on both clutches.
So here's what you do, y'all, when you have that kind of weekend. It's really simple. I take a moment and I look. Man, I got 7 out of 7 eggs. I got 6 out of 6 eggs. I got 13 live babies. They all look really healthy. I'm happy about that. My bills are paid. My stomach's full, maybe a little too full. I got a fresh 5 gallons of beer brewing up in my closet. Don't ask. I brew my own beer. It's wonderful to do. Life is good. Even when you have a bad clutch, odds-wise, life is good. When a clutch fully wipes of eggs, life is still good. If just like I talked about college sports, and then we'll go over to Patreon, because this is probably more for them anyway, but I'll go ahead and say it here. Just like I talked about college sports, not putting too much of your happiness riding on 19 to 22-year-old, college kids, right? Enjoy it, enjoy the ride, but that shouldn't be what dictates your attitude when you wake up in the morning. This shouldn't either, unless this is the only way you're eating, then I can kind of get it. But otherwise, it should not be the dictate of like, man, my day's terrible because I should have got 2 more clowns, or man, I really should have got a few more xanthics in there. Oh man, I had a clutch that didn't go right, and it wasn't really my fault. The female just had and you can't tell when you get those halvesies. What I mean is 3 good eggs, 3 bad eggs. A lot of times what you have is a bad side of follicles that year. Could have been too warm in there one time. Could have had a bad day. Who knows? But those things are going to happen when you breed a lot. Not every egg that's ever laid is going to hatch. And, you just got to look at your odds overall. Understand that levels out overall, right? And don't let the highs get you too high and the lows get you too low. Keep your ship sailing in the middle. That'll keep you on pace, keep you on target, and overall it should work out a little bit better for you. All right, anything else, Caleb?
Nope.
All right, guys, we're going to swap over to Patreon and talk about what we're going to do with all these guys.